In the days of yore, there dwelled a mighty war chieftain, revered by his tribesfolk and venerated by neighbouring clans. This chieftain was entrusted to adjudicate a skirmish, one all believed he would effortlessly vanquish. Thus he embarked on his quest with implements and sustenance, his hesitance apparent as he bore more garments and provisions than afore. Swiftly he allayed their disquiet, citing the sagacity of age and apt preparation. Their admiration was palpable as they went about their morning toil in the village, watching him stride into the dawn, each footfall quenching the dew and cleaving the mist en route to his predetermined triumph. As the formidable chieftain strode forth, inhaling deeply the crisp air of spring verdure, his massive headdress began to slip. He resolved to traverse the mountain path for a superior vantage and to observe the movements of those ahead. Yet he chose the lesser trodden path near the ancient eagle's ear to mend his headdress and replenish his vigour by raiding the beehive. None knew of his laboured breaths and aching back that had plagued him for a moon. His youthful brethren were gone or preoccupied with kin, leaving him bereft of confidants. Too many relied on him, their esteem and dependence overt and unspoken, barring him from revealing his tribulations. Each stride pained him. His inner dissatisfaction with his struggle to endure the trial, known only to himself. This quandary weighed on him alone, as each stone, once like sand between his toes, now reverberated through his being like ripples on a pond. The air, once invigorating and fortifying, unsteadied him. With each passing day, he knew honour demanded a glorious end in battle, immortalising him in great tales. Yet, a fall outside a worthy fight would cast him into oblivion. Then his effigy would no longer be inspiring awe in the hall. As the chieftain ascended the ancient path, familiar with its clandestine twists and masterfully simplifying its complexity, he reached the eagle's ear. He knew the signs of the eagle's imminent departure to hunt, and scaled the precarious, crumbling cliff, feasting his gaze upon the valley below. There he gathered fresh eagle feathers and replenished his stores of honey and beeswax. Absorbing the breathtaking vista as evening clouds danced away, he felt less than glorious, his body faltering. He sat a while after, consuming honey and adjusting his headdress, discovering a burgeoning bald spot causing the issue. To showcase his journey to the villages, he elaborated the headdress, as it would cover the spot, but it continued to slip. So he adorned the area to mask the emerging baldness. Heaviness from the previous night's revelry tugged at his wakefulness, so the chieftain nestled into a cosy tree hollow to relieve his aching back, stretching into a brief reprieve. His age weighed upon him, as the lush foliage matured, even as he slipped into a vivid dreamscape where all was both amplified and eerily authentic. In the dream, the chieftain grew into the mightiest eagle of unparalleled proportions. He leapt across and dove from the cliff's edge, piercing gloriously through the clouds, sending them scattering into wondrous patterns, creating openings for him to survey all that is below. Painless, proud, and sagacious, he soared and swooped, partaking of nature's bounty, invigorated by the visual experience. From his airborne perspective, he foresaw the strife ahead. Where, even in his dream, he knew he must mediate between quarrelling chiefs over land disputes. He also glimpsed an aged, scheming crone conspiring with a devious, aspiring youth to alter their rival tribes' maps, inciting conflict for their own nefarious gains. As the mighty eagle, the chieftain seized the conniving young one mid-sabotage, clutching him with the writing tools and counterfeit maps on his person. He deposited him, red-handed and bound by his colossal talons, before the bickering chieftains at the heart of the strife. In the dream, the chieftain felt both awe and dismay, knowing others would expect similar feats as he had always demanded of himself. Awakening, rested though disappointed, stinging pain in his feet as the sun's rays seared on his soul, marking him physically with burn on his foot and a metaphorical thorn in his side. He ruminated on the prior rest's pleasures, on the evening's elegant, elaborate fantasies, on the adornments of the dances and the feasting that he had earned in the village the night before. He'd earned this not by recent victories, though through past glories. He knew in this aging pains he could rebuild his strength to what once was in daily exercise, moderation and restraint. Navigating now this shifting landscape of his age would be a necessary change. To maintain his edge, continue the prowess of his dance, he would reassess his capabilities and push his limits, all while avoiding overexertion and the need for recuperation. The question remained, who would notice and how would he take pride in himself? He knew he could not become a wise elder or a medicine man. It wasn't in him. As he pondered, bees returned to their hive, laden with pollen, and an eagle of the nest surveyed him from above. Even before the dream, the chieftain foresaw the intricate plot that he must untangle to hold the senseless conflicts that were before. He propelled himself from the tree hollow, leaving behind his fruitless, shame-laden musings, For a time, he had renewed determination, eclipsing his pain. Pain he knew being a message that he could choose to heed or ignore. He plucked berries along the way to sate his hunger as he pressed onward. Vigour and dignity fueling each step towards his goal. He was confident that this endeavour would be elementary. As he rounded a bend, the eroded path proved no obstacle, though it slowed his pace. In this decelerated state, he saw his sunburned foot bleeding and felt the searing pain. As he collected healing leaves and bound his foot, he realised through measured determination and calculated rest, he could balance his ageing prowess with the wisdom of past triumphs. He also acknowledged the value of a possible apprentice who could stride forth, allowing him moments of respite while sharing knowledge. Though he resisted the burden of teaching another, the thought of this duty, or the public responsibility of selecting the most fitting individual, would be a burden, though it may discreetly preserve his pride and create a narrative is productive for all. He moved forward, striving to partake of necessary rewards while tempering his indulgences. He was reminded of the need for consistent practice between conquests, so he could sparingly dance with the finest in the evening feasts. He approached the warring parties and pondered his newfound path, the tales he would weave of this sage approach. In that moment, he spotted a thief from the disputing factions, skulking at the boundary to claim what was not his. The thief dashed into the bushes, believing himself unseen, only to be felled by the chieftain's club. The thief was incapacitated but unharmed, and in his disoriented state, he was dragged to the meeting place, powerless to the sage methods of the chieftain. Had the chieftain not lived honourably, he would have lacked the stamina to seize this opportunity. Tales of the chieftain's prowess spread that night, and he danced with honourable ladies, his effigy enlarged and fortified. Yet he understood that the true story lay in his newfound balance between drive and rest, maintaining realistic strength. He knew this, for what others perceived as godlike power was hard-won wisdom. He would strike a balance in all aspects of life: health, family, skills, dividing his efforts between values and rest to achieve the daily victory he intended. Steadily, in life, his back healed and old wounds mended, as the body can when allowed consistent repose. His foot recovered as he continued walking on steadily, and day to day his other injuries likewise healed. In time, only his closest confidants and devoted apprentices learned the secret, and did so when it was right for them to learn it. Gradually, the wisest among the village recognised, without words, his even more extraordinary inner accomplishments. His capacity to acknowledge his own bodily symptoms and carefully demonstrate daily due diligence. The chieftain's newfound wisdom and balanced approach to life not only allowed him to become a stronger, more capable leader, but also enabled him to pass on his knowledge and experience to the next generation. As the years passed, he continued to lead his people to prosperity and to resolve conflicts with a steady hand and a calm spirit. His tales of victory, wisdom, and transformation echoed throughout the generations, inspiring countless others to embrace the delicate balance between strength and rest, ambition and reflection. The chieftain's legacy lived on, immortalized in the hearts and minds of his people, a testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring spirit of human will.